Welcome to Hawks Football Weekly. Kenya Lake now on a 4-game winning streak, 6-2 on the year, courtesy of a 31-21 win over Boerne this past Friday. The Hawks now, more importantly, 2-0 in 14-4A play. I'm your host, Brant Freeman, with Kenya Lake head coach Charlie Drummond. Boy, coach, what an impressive game for you this past week.
Yeah, it was a total team effort. I mean, we won all three phases of the game, what we preached all week, and especially our offense controlling the ball, had 38 minutes of time of possession, which kept their high-powered offense off the field.
Yeah, something we talked about in the show last week about how one of the best defenses can be a really good offense. Boerne's offense, very good. How much did that keep them out of their rhythm?
Well, I just think them being on the sidelines kind of frustrated them a little bit. I mean, they had 11 plays in the first half, I think 30 total to our 70, so it worked out good for us. Especially the defensive coaches love seeing that quarterback and that group of receivers on the sideline the majority of the game.
The time, though, your defense did spend on the field facing that offense and Brooks Klutz and all those array of weapons that he has at his disposal, how well did they play?
Well, I think the key to the game defensively was the opening drive for Boerne. They went 3 and out. Then the opening drive, we're up 21-7 at half, and we kick the ball off to them to start the second half, and they go 3 and out, and we go down and score. I think that just boosted the confidence of our defense.
Now, we mentioned the play of the offense, and we could highlight 10 to 15 guys in the team, but we only have time for a couple. Let's just focus on one right now, and you probably know the name I'm going to bring up. Tanner Ferris, another spectacular game for you. He's been great since returning from injury a few weeks ago. Over 200 yards total for him on the game, a couple of big rushing touchdowns. Just how dependable of a back is he?
He's a difference maker. He was out 3 games for us in our offense. Albeit still good, but he brings that extra facet to our offense where he can take it the distance, whether he's catching the ball or running the ball.
Now, I mentioned at the top, this is your 4th win in a row, 2-0 right now in district play. Just how much confidence is your football team playing with right now?
We're playing well. We're finally almost 100% healthy. Since the Blanco game, the first game of the year, we haven't had this group together. We just can't get too confident because Fredericksburg's a really good team this week.
Now, the games themselves are fun, but looking at the days in between, practice and the time in the film room, are you seeing players and the staff enjoying one another in the preparation each and every week?
Yeah, this is a great group of kids. A lot of them have been playing since they were sophomores up on the varsity, and it really helps having a solid core of seniors.
You have a long to-do list. You had one at the start of the season, one of them to win the 14-4A district. You're still in position to do that, sitting at 2-0. Another one of those to-do list check marks is to make the postseason. You clinched a playoff berth this past Friday. How great was that to get out of the way?
No, it's great. That's your goal every year. We have 3 goals: to win every game, to win every district game, and then make the playoffs. So we're halfway there with the district games, and we made the playoffs. So we checked one of those things off the box.
Again, Kenya Lake now 2-0 in 14-4A play, 6-2 on the year, courtesy of their win over the Greyhounds this past Friday. You heard Coach bring up Fredericksburg. That's who the Hawks will play next in their final home game of the season this Friday. We'll preview that game coming up in just a bit, but right now, time for this week's Hawks Hurry Up with their very own Emily Wick. Emily?
Welcome to Hawks Hurry Up. Let's meet this week's competitors. Hawks quarterback, Ben Fulton. A guy Ben throws to, Cayman McDonough. Hawks senior, Joseph Ruiz. And Alejandro Herrera. This week, our Hawks are challenged with moving ping pong balls from one bowl to another with just their mouths and a spoon. Let's go, Hawks. And first up is Alejandro. And go. You have to be slow and methodical to get this challenge done the fastest. Alejandro, you've got great form. Oops, a little bobble. Look at Ben's laser focus, just like when he's on the field. He's the one to beat now. Joseph knows the fastest way is not to raise it up too high. He barely skims the helmet on the way by. Wow, he is blazing through the ping pong ball challenge. Cayman's ready. Oh no! Fumble! Our cameraman can't even find it, but Cayman doesn't quit. He just puts it into high gear. Alejandro, just one more. Ben's about to catch up. Cayman might just bring it home. Oh no, disaster again. That'll end his run. There's our winner. Joseph finishes with a whopping 28 seconds left. Way to go. A little victory celebration for good measure. Way to go, Hawks. Don't go anywhere because Hawks Football Weekly will be right back.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
All right. Get this going? Yes, sir. Welcome back to Hawks Football Weekly. Here in the studios, Brant Freeman with Kenya Lake head coach Charlie Drum. The Hawks 6-2. Their opponent this week, Fredericksburg, 5-2. And coming off a bye this past week, the Battling Billies are 0-1 in 14-4A play. They last played the Boerne Greyhounds as well a couple of weeks ago, a 47-31 setback. Coach, first impressions of Fredericksburg, what stands out?
Again, they're a high-powered offense. They're averaging 470 yards a game. I think almost 40 points a game. They got a bunch of weapons on offense, and they're playing solid defense. They're a very good football team.
Yeah, they have scored 50 or more 4 times this season in their 7 games. And you've faced, again, some great quarterbacks this year. Klutz last week, JoJo Weeks from Wimberley a few weeks ago. Will Flannery for the Battling Billies is their quarterback, over 1,000 yards passing this season, 11 touchdown passes. What challenges does he and their offense present?
Well, he's a great quarterback. He can throw the ball. What makes Fredericksburg really dangerous, they run the ball. They're almost 50-50 as far as yardage, and they do a lot of things, a lot of formations, and they'll throw at us, so it's going to be a challenge for us.
A very balanced offense too. And one of their big threats is also at receiver. Sean Young stands at 6'2". What when you defend those kind of playmaking receivers, what's the key to getting a body on them and keeping them from having a big game?
Well, luckily our corners, Lester Bames 6'2" and Cameron McDonough 6'5", so the height thing usually scares you. It doesn't here, but you have to game plan with those big bodies. Sometimes getting some extra help over the top.
Looking at the Fredericksburg defense so far this season, some impressive numbers. They are living in opponents' backfields, 28 sacks, 40 tackles for loss. You obviously don't throw the ball a whole lot, so maybe the sack number not as daunting. But with your run-oriented offense, they again tend to live in the backfield. How do you have to combat what Fredericksburg does on defense?
Well, our offensive line is going to have to be up to the challenge, and they have so far this year. And I think just keeping them off balance. We don't throw the ball a whole lot, but when we do throw it on first and second down, sometimes that slows down that pass rush. One
of the unique things about this season for your schedule features a lot of teams you have a lot of history with. Blanco, Wimberley, and non-district play. Here in 14-4A play, Boerne a week ago, and Fredericksburg, a team you've played every season since the Hawks program began back in 2008. What do you recall about the history between these two programs?
No, it's great. It's a rivalry. We're only about 50 miles apart, and we've had a little success lately, but they're always a hard-nosed football team, well coached, and it's fun.
Should note, though, that the Hawks have beaten the Billies 3 consecutive years, 45-25 win a year ago. Coach, this is your final home game of the season. It will be senior night, 26 of them on the team for you. How special of a moment will this be?
No, it's special. This is probably the best senior group we've ever had since the school opened. And I hate to see them go, but hopefully that this won't be our last, 2 games. Then we'll keep it going. That's kind of our goal this year, is to play some meaningful games, late November, early December.
I go back to the to-do list we brought up earlier. Again, one of those goals in mind is to win the 14-4A district. You could take a step towards that with a win on Friday. What are your keys to getting that done?
Again, keeping that offense off the field. Hopefully, I don't know if we can control the clock for 38 minutes, but if we can win the time of possession and win the turnover battle, I think we'll be in good shape.
All right, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Again, Kenny Lake will host Fredericksburg this Friday at 7:30 from Hawks Stadium. For more coverage on Kenny Lake football, again, navigate further right here online on HawksNetwork.com. For head coach Charlie Durham, I'm Brant Freeman. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you again next week.